when you're restricting your food, you're completely restricting all areas of your life, and I'm not okay with that anymore. I just keep losing it. Gaining weight is not inherently bad. Gaining weight is not bad. Gaining weight is not bad. Gaining weight is not bad. I just kept repeating that.
Editing Becca quickly popping in to say, happy Vlogmas. This one is a wild ride, so buckle up because things get real. It was filmed over the course of 2 different days, but they were like 3 days apart, and you'll see what I mean when we get into it.
All right, it is 9:21 p.m. on November 28th. 2021. The reason I'm filming this clip tonight is because since I have so many chronic illness issues, going to a traditional treatment center is not an option for me. I can't be in that type of setting. I can't be in a group setting. There are just so many things that would have to be navigated that can't be navigated in a traditional treatment setting. So whereas twice in high school and once 3 months into our marriage, that was an option for me, it is not at this point in time. So I was in the hospital here for about 5 days, just again to try to get things started and stabilized as much as we could in that short period of time. I've now been home. This is Sunday. I've been home since Tuesday, so 5 days. And this vlog is going to get really real tomorrow. That's why I'm filming the intro clip tonight, because I want to have at least the opening clip where I'm not already completely breaking down, because you can probably tell I've been crying. My face is red, my eyes are puffy, and that's because, let's just put it out there, I know that weighing yourself is counterproductive in eating disorder recovery. However, in the interest of full transparency, part of my relapse this summer did involve starting to weigh myself again. And naturally, as I have been taking steps toward further nutritional stabilization and rehabilitation since I left the hospital 5 days ago, the number on the scale, of course, has increased. If you are someone who has an eating disorder or deals with disordered eating or negative body image even, you know that that is something that just makes you want to scream, even if you know it has to happen. So the whole point of this vlog, I know for a fact, just based on trends and based on everything that happens within our bodies once we've been depriving them and restricting them of what they need for so long, I know how all this goes. I know the trajectory I'm on. And I know that tomorrow morning is going to be a really hard morning. And I feel kind of silly saying it because I'm 33 years old and I'm getting ready to tell you. And don't worry, I will not ever mention specific numbers on this channel, so just know that is not something that I ever do in my videos, so you don't have to worry about that for me. But I will allude to the fact that I'm going to be crossing a number tomorrow, and I just know it's going to happen, just being realistic.
Editing Becca popping in quickly just to say, no, in fact, it was not realistic. It did not happen that morning. It did not happen for another 2 or 3 mornings, which is why the 2 vlogs before this one were posted instead of this one. But now that it has, we're going to process it through the rest of this video.
That I don't want to, but I also know that I have to, because even that number that feels so horribly impossible and is making me want to jump out of my skin right now is still so far from what the eventual result has to be. So tomorrow I'll take you along and we'll be figuring out together how we can best cope with the necessary weight gain side of this journey. And it's hard, and I'm not going to pretend that it's not, but just filming this clip tonight so I can have this, like I said before, I'm in complete meltdown mode. I know it's coming tomorrow morning because I know what's happened the past few mornings. A milestone that I don't want to reach, but that I know I have to work hard to reframe as a victory, because I know it's something that has to happen in order to live the life of freedom that I want to be able to live with Roger. I really freak it out, so I gotta turn on Friends or something just to distract my mind, because otherwise I will lay here all night and just obsess over this and have to have the pump running all night anyway. So recovery is not linear, but it is possible, or so they say, and I'm trying to cling to that. I feel so stupid right now. This feels so stupid right now, and that's why I turned the camera on, just to document the fact that I know it's not stupid, because I know I'm dealing with a mental illness, but it feels so stupid what I'm getting ready to talk about at 33 years old. And that is that today, December 1st, this afternoon actually, I finally just now weighed myself again. Weighed myself this morning, still had not crossed that barrier that I talked about a couple of vlogs ago that I consider right now at this moment in time the worst case scenario. And again, I know I shouldn't be weighing myself, but that's just part of my reality right now, and I'm working on it. However, it has usually just been in the mornings, and today I actually have an appointment with my general practitioner in town. The main point of the appointment is to have labs done, is to just kind of check in on everything and to hopefully get the all clear, and saying that I am safe from the dangers of going into refeeding syndrome at this point, since we've been consistently and slowly trying to just gradually make things increase. Because, you can't do it too fast at the beginning when you have been in an energy deficit and you have restrictive eating disorder. You have to be careful with that at the beginning, and that's what the appointment is today. And I knew this morning when I weighed myself that I was right on the edge of almost crossing over into that next, for lack of a better word, decade, the next set of 10 numbers. And I didn't want the very first time I saw it to be at the doctor's, because I didn't want my very first reaction like this to be out in public. This feels so stupid. I'm 33 years old. I thought I was going to be able to handle it better than I am, and I'm just not handling it well. And like I said, I feel so stupid for being an adult woman who's dealt with this crap for 18 years, and I knew this was going to happen. I've expected it to happen for the past 3 days, and God has instead given me moments of mercy, a chance to practice and prepare more, but even still, tears are streaming. I'm a wreck right now. So I'm just going to try to remind myself of some of the stuff that I've been writing down every morning from like 4 to 6 a.m. in my journal, because this is the stuff that I know is true, even though I'm feeling like I just want to crawl out of my skin right now. I want to be anyone but myself right now. I want to be in any body but this body right now. I want to not have to go through any of this, and that's exactly why I have to do it, because I don't want to, and the only way to ever get to the point where things are easier and I am living a life of freedom is to feel like crap and feel terrified and even feel that self-hatred and somehow just sit with it, because your brain will not recover as fast as your body. Your brain has to have a lot of time to catch up, and the thing is, I've essentially put my body through abuse for 18 years. I have deprived it. I have treated it horribly. And this process of weight restoration is actually just that. It's not even just weight gain, even though there obviously is gain involved. Like I said in another vlog, I like the term brain restoration instead of weight restoration, but all it really is gaining back weight and energy and life that I never should have lost in the first place. And that's really a hard pill to swallow when you have an eating disorder and you feel like for 18 years that's been your only purpose in life, is to lose weight. And it's been the only thing that makes you feel like you can do anything productive or unique, which it's not. It's stupid. Telling you that you're unique when you have an eating disorder is the biggest lie that your eating disorder, well, one of the biggest lies it can tell you, because so many people struggle with disordered eating and eating disorders. You're not unique or special for having one, nor am I, even though your disorder will tell you that you are very special for having it. That's a completely disordered lie. But I just wanted to share some of the things that I'm trying to remind myself of right now, because I have to go to that appointment still in about 40 minutes, and I want to try to calm down. I want to try to get my head on straighter before I go. Oh boy. Okay, so one of the things that I keep trying to tell myself is that I am willing to change, and change requires discomfort. And while that is true, or while I at least want it to be true, I really don't like this change, and I know that I just have to sit with it, because I know that it's non-negotiable. If I want to gain my life back, I have to go through the brain restoration process, which for me at this point includes weight gain. And this isn't the last milestone that I'm going to have to cross. It's just the first one that's been extremely hard. So I am willing to change, and change requires discomfort. And I'm only able to live creatively, which is a value to me, to live my life creatively, if I can accept the anxiety and I'm willing to experience this discomfort from time to time. It sucks. I did not know I was going to be breaking down the entire time I was filming this. It's horrible. The process sucks, but I have put my body through so much trauma over the past 18 years that it only makes sense that it's going to suck when I'm finally doing the things that it needs, especially since we know the brain doesn't recover at the same rate as the body, so you just have to push through and deal with feeling this suckiness and feeling like crap, knowing that your ultimate goal is freedom, and these feelings are not going to be forever. This anxiety is not going to be forever. This fear is not going to be forever. You're not going to be the one person in the world who continues to gain weight forever, but hey, guess what? Even if it does happen for a long time, still not the worst thing that could happen, because it's your body doing everything it can to keep you alive. Saying that as much to convince myself as anyone else right now. Another thing along those lines is that anxiety is temporary, and this fear, however terrifying it is, will not kill me, but staying stuck in the same ingrained ED patterns and behaviors absolutely will kill me if I let myself stay stuck in it. Gaining weight, nutritional rehabilitation is necessary for a lot of things. Some of those things, like I've mentioned, one of the most exciting to me is getting my personality back, and it's hard to even think about that right now because my brain is screaming at me because my physical discomfort is so skyrocketed off the charts right now. But I know that my personality is worth it because I've been there before and I know I can get back there again. It also helps my brain be able to focus. I'll be able to live the life of freedom with Roger that we both deserve to live. I can show up and be present in life. I'll be able to pursue my passions and my purpose. It will give me mental space for meaningful and fun things. It will help give me the ability to laugh, the ability to adapt to life, the ability to enjoy and embrace everything life has to offer, and that this weight, although it's terrifying, is absolutely necessary and required and is one step closer to living an unrestricted life. I just keep losing it because this feels so pathetic, and I'm only recording it to show you that if you're going through the recovery process and you're having a hard time specifically with weight gain, but with any part of it, and you start beating yourself up and thinking, I've gone through this for too long, I should be past this, I feel pathetic right now. That's not true. That's not true. You're dealing with a mental disorder and you're fighting like hell to get free of it. Here's something I've realized recently is that running back to my eating disorder technically is always an option. Now I say that knowing that it's a crappy option and it's a suckier option than any of the suckiness that I feel right now because it's an option that only ends in death. So it's not an option I'm ever going to take, not an option I ever want to take, and in no way a good option, but it is very much an option. However, even if I did take that option, I know from experience engaging in behavior X or following through on this compensatory compulsion or urge, I know all of those things only provide temporary relief and then I have to continue to do them, which leaves me stuck in a cycle of this life that is just so restricted. When you're restricting your food, you're completely restricting all areas of your life, and I'm not okay with that anymore, which is why, even though I'm breaking down right now, I'm determined to keep pushing forward, and I know that my weight will continue to go up as I continue to go through nutritional rehabilitation. It will happen. It is a fact. It is something I have to accept. It is something I've theoretically accepted, even though implementing it's a lot harder. It's something that has to happen, and I have to be able to push through the hard parts of recovery. I just wrote in my journal this morning to try to solidify it in my brain. Gaining weight is not inherently bad. Gaining weight is not bad. Gaining weight is not bad. Gaining weight is not bad. I just kept repeating that, and then I just kept refuting all of the lies that my ED voice was telling me were things like, it was saying you're weak, you're pathetic, so I just wrote back to it. I said, it does not mean I'm lazy. It does not mean I'm weak. It does not mean I'm pathetic. It does not mean I'm a loser who's given up on herself. It is a necessary requirement. And it is the very ticket to living that life of unrestricted freedom and joy. And I've been through so many hard things. And while this is by far the hardest that I've had to try to do on my own, I can do the hard things and continue choosing recovery. I can continue to choose the next right step in recovery. I can choose to take the opposite action to what my eating disorder is telling me to do and create new memories and let others in and ask for help and receive help when I need it. I just feel like this one's been kind of all over the place, and that's just because I knew this raw, vulnerable blog was going to be coming up sometime in the first few days of Vlogmas. I knew it was coming. I still wasn't prepared despite trying to be prepared for it. I keep looking down because I'm reading from my journal here because my mind is racing with all of the horrible thoughts right now, all of the lies that my ED is trying to tell me right now. So I'm trying to go back to the stuff that I wrote down for this very reason so I could return to it in these moments. As we talked about in yesterday's vlog, I have to keep flooding my mind and flooding the fire of the ED thoughts and the ED voice with the positive recovery promoting content and actual truth, because it's the only way to ultimately extinguish that fire. And if I'm not flooding the fire, I'm fueling it, and I do not want to add gasoline to the fire of my eating disorder anymore. That's something that is in my control. I can't control if something triggers me and it sparks something, but I can absolutely control me flooding it with the water of truth and things that are actually helpful in recovery. I'll have a thought going and then I just completely break down again. Guys, this is so... This feels so ridiculous, but again, I know it's just part of the process, and one of the other things I keep telling myself is I can surrender all, not just surrender all with my eating disorder, but I can surrender all, and I can trust the process as much as I hate it. I don't know how long I'm going to have to say these things until I'm actually convinced and believe them, but it doesn't change the fact that they're true. I keep trying to also remind myself that I have a very important and unique purpose in this life, because that's something I've always just felt a pull towards, wanting to make a difference and an impact on the world. world, but I can only ever fulfill any part of that purpose if I push through these hard parts of recovery and reach that place of freedom, confidence, peace, joy, acceptance, contentment, all of that. And part of that right now as part of this journey requires weight gain for me, or brain restoration. We'll go with that again. Literally the only thing I want to do right now is run back to restriction, and I don't want to hook back up to my feeding tube, and I don't want to try to eat anything on top of that, and I don't want to do anything that I know I'm supposed to do that I've been doing for the past week, which is why those are the things I'm going to continue to do, because that's the only way to break the cycle, because nothing changes in my life if nothing changes in my day-to-day actions. And that's the only way to get through recovery, is to take the actions, even if you don't feel like it, and you will almost never feel like it. You're never going to feel ready, because your eating disorder will always tell you that you're not sick enough, you're not ready, which we'll talk about at some point, I'm sure. This was the raw reality today, and I did not expect to be this... I did not expect to be crying like this the whole time I was filming. But again, this is temporary. This anxiety is temporary. The fear is temporary. This horrible feeling of discomfort is temporary, and it will pass. But living a life staying stuck in the patterns and behaviors and running back to my eating disorder, that would be misery forever, and that's not okay. So gaining weight is gaining life, is restoring life that I never should have lost in the first place. And it will give me back my personality, which then allows me to show up and be present in life with Roger, with my family, with my friends, with you all, with everyone, with God, in that type of capacity as well. Okay, I gotta stop filming for now because I gotta get ready to go to this appointment, which I'm not looking forward to, but as counterintuitive as it seems, I'm glad I did this at home beforehand so I could at least prepare myself, because I know when I'm there, I'm also going to be away with clothes on, which will add, however minimal, will add a little bit more to the scale. So I knew it was going to happen at the doctor, so I just wanted to have my first exposure to it at home, where I wasn't having my complete meltdown, my initial meltdown at the doctor's office. Just left the doctor's appointment. Of course, when I went in, the very first thing the nurse wanted to do was check my weight, because that, one reason why I was there. And we all know how that's gone today already. And I asked her if we could do it at the end of the appointment, because I didn't want to have to see the number and then only be thinking about that, not be able to communicate during the appointment. And eventually I'll get to the point where the number doesn't bother me, but right now it freaking does. And I thought I was prepared to do it at the end of the appointment. The appointment went well. By the way, we think that everything will come back in the clear, and that I'm probably safe as far as the danger zone of refeeding syndrome and all that. But obviously it was a higher number at the doctor's office because I had my clothes on, and it's not like it was a huge difference, but it was enough to kind of make me want to start spiraling again. Okay, we are going with the phone recording for a minute because the camera died in the car. So if you have an eating disorder, any amount of more feels like the end of the world, even if you know that what you just recently checked at home was differently. Here's the thing, I know I'm talking about weight. Eating disorders are not a weight disorder. They're not even food disorders. They're mental disorders. I'm only bringing this part up because I thought I had prepared myself with all of the processing that we did at home, thought I would be prepared to see it at the doctor's, and I was not. I was not at all. Yeah, it's not fun. None of this is fun. But like I said earlier, it's always an option to go back to the eating disorder, but it's the suckiest option of all of them because it only provides temporary relief. It only provides temporary satisfaction, nothing everlasting, and it provides a forever life of misery. So pushing through the crappy feelings right now, no matter how sucky they are, is still going to eventually be worth it. And even if I don't believe that, that's what I have to keep telling myself, because life with this guy is worth it. All right, so since today's vlog was pretty daggone emotional and raw and very real, we thought we'd end it on a happier note by saying screw you to the ED and starting to open our advent calendars. Yay! I actually ordered mine like 2 months ago because sometimes they sell out of the allergen-free versions. So it's just kind of been chilling out here for a couple months, and he got his...
And I got a cheap one from the store. It was like $2, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just get this one this year. Until I learned of the existence of this. The cheese advent calendar. It's got cheddar. It's got Gouda. It's got Edam. Different types of Gouda. More cheddars. More Gouda. Some double Gloucester. And some Gouda. There's a lot. So check. It's got these here, and then... Oh. This sort of explains the cheeses.
Yep. He's kind of a big fan of cheese.
I like cheese.
It's kind of his thing. So we're very glad he got that. And it was courtesy of your sister, I believe, that you found out it existed. So
shout out to Leoma.
Shout out to my sister-in-law. All right, so let's see what we got. Day one.
I already found the day one on the cheese. Oh, that's a bigger piece than I thought it would be.
Oh, yeah.
Today is Edam, but it's spelled E-D-A-M. I don't know if it's Edam or Edam. I don't know. It's cheese.
Meanwhile, I got a little elephant on my Advent chocolate. There we go.
There you go.
Look at that elephant there.
Nice. Savory and mild. I better open my chocolate one too, since we're showing.
Mm-hmm.
There's number one.
You know, M&M's supposed to melt in your mouth, not in your hand. Well, this is totally also melting in my hand, the other half of this.
Oh, this one does have different shapes. This was like it's like an
holly,
Advent candle.
Oh, I see, yeah.
There you go. All right, let's try the cheese. My first time eating this kind of cheese. That's good cheese. I love it.
Verdict? Eat 'em cheese?
I will eat them all.
Rating
This is great.
Rating out of 10?
10.
Okay, there you have it. My allergen-free chocolate empty window there you saw. It was delicious. And he's gonna have his chocolate, and now we're gonna go to bed. And as I always say, live to fight another day. There will probably be more emotions tomorrow that are difficult to deal with, but we'll find a way to deal with them. I've got a pretty good partner here. So we'll see you guys in the next one.